Good morning, good evening, good night. My name is TwoPointCho, and I just wanted to take 2 seconds and do a little appreciation for the last few videos. It looks like you guys enjoy when I just kind of talk, and I get that whisper ASMR is quite huge, so I wanted to follow up on that. And again, in lieu, I figured that it might help to dive a little deeper in the aspect of trying to fall asleep. So let me pull up I jotted down some generic ideas here, right? But it's not falling asleep per se, right? But it's to help get there, right? Because what if you're still struggling? And again, you can use this in and outside of sleep. So, the first topic, generically, that I want to talk about is relaxation techniques, which I also feel fits very fitting in the little ASMR community. It's huge, but don't get me wrong. So, some relaxation techniques that I used to use, that I've used with people that I've worked with. Again, it really depends on what suits you. But I'll start off with one of my favorite ones. And basically, you could be upset, you could be overwhelmed, you could be sad, whatever the case, angry. But I want you to just imagine that you're in that kind of headspace. And right before, you're just like, I'm about to just explode, or I'm about to just melt down. Just take a big breath, like an uncomfortable breath. And again, it's like, preferably, you go and you have someone just helping you. But if it's just you, you're going to have to help yourself. But and you're like, oh, okay, my lungs are pretty full. No, that was a tiny breath. But I want you to, and you're like, oh, that kind of felt uncomfortable. Perfect. Keep it for a second. Big exhale. Now I want you to do that 2 to 3 times. Because that, there's a ton of studies out there. But just oxygen to your brain is such a fantastic mechanism that really, again, shouldn't be overlooked by any means. It is such a good de-stress tool. But again, it's good for your heart, it's good for your heart rate, it's good for everything. Well, maybe not everything, but still. So breathing exercises, amazing. Which again, maybe that isn't one that works best for you. Okay, there's a few others. When again, it's the only other breathing one that I know, but it's similar. You take a medium big breath and you just hold it. And I want you to count. Now, again, if you're not comfortable with this, you might not make it to a full 10 count. Unless if your 10 count is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe you could make it then. But again, right? Without talking, without exhaling, just 1, 2, 3, 4 in your head. And if you start to feel like, oh, I have to exhale this, let it out. That is a-okay. But it's just, you're focusing on the hold, not the big inhale for that one. And again, if those don't help, there are so many other relaxation techniques. And again, they could look like almost anything. Me personally, I just got back from the gym, so I got me a little protein shake here, right? So If I'm drinking this instead, I apologize. But it's good to like quench my thirst, and it's food. But again, maybe you go and you work out. Maybe you go ride a bike, go for a run. And again, you can't always do that when you're feeling built up. But it could be a great, great stress reliever for, the rest of your afternoon. Or just help you regularly relax. If you know that you have something set up that you like to do, which again, not a lot of people love working out, love going on runs. But if you say, hey, at 8:30 tonight and every night, I'm going to watch a movie, and that's my thing. Or my particular show, The Simpsons, starts at 9 p.m. Whatever it is, I'm going to have a glass of wine and then just watch whatever's on. I don't have cable, but whatever television channel you guys enjoy. If you have something to look forward to, it can drastically decrease like just regular anxiety feelings throughout the day, which is crazy. I mean, it makes sense. It's not that crazy, but it's crazy how it's like so simple. It's like, oh, you've got something to look forward to. You're less mad. Who would have thought? You know? And again, it all like in a big circle. It all kind of is like you got to take care of yourself. You got to put you first sometimes. Which again, I feel like that's a challenge for everyone. That, you know, especially I feel like as you get older, it really is a challenge. Because maybe your friends, they love to go out and party. And you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. Take care of yourself. You can say no and not hurt their feelings. Like, I know that it's easier said than done, right? But again, if they don't appreciate it and they don't say, okay, I don't think they're good friends. But anyways, you know, if you're stressed, I mean, pause for 2 seconds. If you love going out with your friends, go out with your friends. Be responsible. Especially again, I'm just saying. But it's like if you're anxious, if you're mad, like again, you can set those boundaries. I kind of got a little ahead of myself on that one. But again, like in the sense of trying to relax, relaxing techniques, take care of yourself first. Make sure, hey, I said no and I don't feel bad because I need to go home, take a nice shower, maybe, do whatever. Like, again, get that thing that you look forward to, whatever it is. And again, plan it for yourself. Go out to a fast food place. If that's something, again, that you need, don't make it a habit, right? But these little techniques, they can definitely help. And again, if you feel like, oh, I need something to look forward to every single day to be a little less anxious, maybe start, looking at other ways. Again, you can reflect on what's making you so anxious. And maybe you're not like good at pinpointing everything. That's okay too, There is other help out there, You can meditate, which again, in some people, that's, again, I don't know a ton about meditation, but I know that it's a big thing that everyone tries to do, right? And I know that it could look different, whether you are, simply praying, or whether you are simply just sitting there and, again, just, I really have no idea. But I know that monks, they meditate all the time, and they say they're so at peace. And again, I don't know what they think about. They probably don't think about anything, or they think about everything. But again, just reflect on the issue. And, I feel like we all can do that. We can all do that a little bit better. And in the same sense of like meditation, connect with nature, go outside. Because especially if you feel like bottled up, don't go home and lock yourself in your room. That's horrendous. But again, I get it's comfortable. Like it's so normal to just say like everyone hates me. I'm gonna go inside, just like lock myself in my room. You know, I get that. We've all been there. But you don't have to do that. Call a friend. Again, plan something with a friend. Or just go take a walk outside. Go, to the river, a pond, a lake, the ocean. If you guys enjoy the ocean. But again, go into nature. Go for a hike. Looping back to physical activity, go for a hike. Um, but again, you got to focus on the future. There was a there was a there was a quote, and I forget exactly what it was, but it was like anxiety is just focusing too much, or it's worrying too much on the future, not focusing on it. Something like that. I don't know who said it. It was just something I saw on Instagram, right? One of those like motivational reels. But again, it was like you're worrying too much and you're not focusing hard enough. And it's like, that's true. Someone's car alarm is going off. I swear, every time I sit down, something happens. I'm just like, is it my car? Because it's still going. Focus on your future. Not worried. I'm a little worried, but I'm not too worried. If that's my car, it's my car. But again, you can focus on the future and then again, reflect. What's making you so anxious? Okay, I'm going to focus on that point. So I know that this was a huge, huge roundabout endeavor. And we're not done. We are not done. But I am going to take a 2-second pause. But I just want you guys, soak all that in. Hopefully something helped. Because I know that we started off slow with breathing. And then it was like, hey, you got to focus on your future, man. So I know a lot happened, right? But we will be right back, hopefully with a more calming demeanor. But I am going to go check on that alarm, and I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, hello, welcome back. For you, that was 0 seconds. It was not my car. Thank the Lord. But, again, if you've made it this far, hopefully you were engaged, hopefully you were tuned in. If one of those tips can help, please drop a subscribe down. I'd really appreciate it. But anyways, guys, for a small recap, which I think is quite fitting, because now, I've got a little different headspace. I think, again, there's different levels of importance based on how anxious you are, what's going on. Because again, if you're like, oh, I have a math test next hour, you can't necessarily retrospectively do all the steps. You can breathe and just pray that that works. Or, you can maybe go for a walk, go outside, talk to a friend. Like maybe you can do some of those. Maybe you can't. So again, it's like working on different tools for different timelines. It's like hopefully you had plenty of time to study and prepare for this test. But again, it's like some scenarios you have longer wait times and some you don't. So again, I guess it's different, but if you're turning to this video for advice, the best thing that I would say is create more consistent routines. Work on yourself. Like I said earlier, focus on you. Focus on your future. Don't worry about it. But again, put yourself first in some scenarios. It's amazing. Please help others. You'll feel great. Trust me. But again, it's like if you're just focusing on how can I better myself, you might avoid some of those challenging scenarios that might really stress you out because, watch this, you might get used to it in the sense of, again, some people that I worked with, the more that you would work through a problem, the more confident and comfortable you get, right? So, retrospectively, they need help initially, right? But they just assume they can't do anything. And you say, hey, let's work through this problem. You help them. Boom, wonderful. The next problem, they might not need as much help. And then again, later and later, they're coming to you saying, look what I did. I did this. And that could be you. So it's a little tricky at first, right? Like again, going back to that math test scenario, right? If you're in a math class, maths, wherever you are, and you're like, I am stressed, right? But you go in and you pass, you build a little confidence. And then you say, next year, I'm in a tougher math class. Or maybe it's next week, you have a tougher test. But it's like, okay, I know that I need to breathe, right? Because you just learned that tool. But now you've got a week or a month or a year to prepare and really dig deep and work on yourself and say, I want to pass. I don't want to be anxious. Therefore, I'm going to study and I'm going to talk to my friend if I need help. And if they're not really much help, I'm going to go talk to a teacher, maybe a counselor, because again, people are there to help, and hopefully if someone comes to you and you say, let me help you, math, super easy. I got you covered. So, if any of that helps ease your anxiety, let me know. What do you guys use? Because again, this video could be 9 hours long, and we could barely cover, half, if that, again, of ways to de-stress, ways to be less anxious. But again, I know that it's so different for so many people. Again, without going on another tangent, some people, they hate I'm going to sit down and breathe. That's all right. If that's you, that's all right. But finding out what works for you, that is what is important. So I think that is where we're going to leave today's video off. But if you enjoyed it, again, like, comment, subscribe. I really do want to hear what helps you guys, calm down or be more confident or anything. If you have any stories where you're like, I was, X emotion, and then this is how I got through it, let me know. That'd be amazing. Maybe next time we'll do a little story time, personal story time. But anyways, make sure to subscribe. My name has been TwoPointCho, and I hope to see you all very soon. Peace.